Finals ran the gamut of emotions. For 7 heated battles, the Detroit Pistons and the Los Angeles Lakers sparred toe-to-toe. And it was a heroic Isaiah Thomas who led Detroit to the brink of an NBA championship, but whose dreams went unanswered as the poise of the Lakers stood firm, earning them their 5th title this decade. They're being hailed as the team of the 80s. And now the Los Angeles Lakers are seeking to close out this decade the same way they started it, with an NBA championship. They've cruised through these playoffs in spectacular fashion, piling up 11 straight wins and putting them right on course to end the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar era with yet another championship ring. They are billed as basketball's bad boys. But the Detroit Pistons have relied on more than just brawn in reaching the NBA Finals. They have earned the trip the old-fashioned way, with a smothering defense that can frustrate anyone. And now, that defense will be unleashed on the Lakers in a rematch the Pistons have dreamt about for an entire season. A year ago, we opened the finals at the Forum in Inglewood, California. But this year, the home court advantage belongs to the Detroit Pistons, who battled all year to gain it. And so tonight, in their beautiful new palace, about 35 miles outside of downtown Detroit, it'll be game 1 of the finals. The Detroit Pistons attracted better than 1 million fans. And if this championship series gets to game 6 or 7, they will be played right here in the Palace, unlike a year ago, where the Lakers pulled it out by winning 6 and 7 at their home. So we welcome everybody to the 1989 NBA Finals. Game 1 between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Detroit Pistons. A series that is rated dead even. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. I'm Brent Musburger, along with Dick Stockton, Hubie Brown, Pat O'Brien. Here we go again. It was a marvelous 2-week war a year ago. Regardless of who wins this year's final, it's the end of a basketball era. For one of the greatest to ever play this game, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is calling it a career. He's 42 years old. He is the oldest man to ever play in the NBA, and he has come back to the championship stage. At the other end, Isaiah Thomas, trying to win his first NBA title. Who will ever forget that performance in Game 6 a year ago? 43 points, 25 in the third quarter, 11 of them coming after that gut-wrenching ankle injury. Speaking of injuries, unfortunately, the Lakers are going to be without one of their stars. Byron Scott, during a drill yesterday, a contact drill, popped a hamstring. He has been lost for the first 2 games of the finals. Now, a short time ago, Pat O'Brien caught up with Byron as he arrived outside the locker room.
Outside the locker room with Byron Scott, and we hear all kinds of reports. 2 games, 3 weeks, the rest of the season. What is it?
Well, really, Pat, you can't really describe what it's going to be right now. We just have to go. We know it's going to be 2 games for sure, but we have to wait until we get back to L.A. to give it a little bit more evaluation, see how it feels, and you know, if any possibility that I can get in there, I'll get in there.
Fine time for this to happen, huh?
Without a doubt. You know, with all the things that's been going on with this team all year, then have something like this happen is devastating to me personally.
What have you said to Michael Cooper, who will step in for you tonight?
Well, I really haven't said nothing to him. Pat Coop's an 11-year veteran. He knows exactly what it takes to win, and you know, he's a great player in situations like that. He'll definitely get the job done.
Good luck to you. Get well. We'll see you down the stretch, maybe.
Thank you, Pat.
Back to you, Brent.
All right, Pat, and certainly the Lakers are hoping that Byron is healthy when Game 3 takes place at the Forum on Sunday afternoon. Unlike the earlier 7-game series, keep in mind that the finals are conducted on a different basis. The first 2 games are here at the Palace, and then the next 3 would be played in Inglewood before we come back for a 6 and a 7. Now, the 2 men who have called the action for you are down at center court, so let's send you down to Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown. Dick?
All right, Brent, thank you very much. Well, the coaches have to have a rallying cry coming into the series other than let's try to win the title. Motivation is very important. Now, for the Lakers, they feel that the Pistons did not give them their credit for winning last year, and it sticks in their craw. The Pistons say we should have won. If Isaiah Thomas had not been hurt in the 7th game, they would have won, and we blew it, and the Lakers feel they deserve more. Now, as far as the Pistons are concerned, after having the best record in the regular season going into the playoffs, everyone felt that Detroit would be the likely champion. But since the playoffs has started, now Detroit is the underdog, and because the Lakers are unbeaten in postseason, people like LA. Detroit wants to have that favored role again. Well, they have to have something to put their hat on. Of course, we have Hubie Brown to put our hat on. And Hubie, how do you look at game 1 of this series?
Well, it's really a defensive struggle, Dick. We have the 2 toughest and stingiest defenses in the NBA. Very difficult to get an uncontested shot because of size, speed, quickness, and they're both very physical. All right, Laker problems. They must control Isaiah Thomas. He cannot get off up-tempoing the game and then come in with over 30. This would be disaster. On the Pistons front, big problem, James Worthy. Not only the points, but getting their front line in foul trouble.
Now, Byron Scott is a big story here, and the Lakers are losing more than just their 3rd leading scorer at 20 points a game, right?
Well, you know, the perimeter game, he's one of the top 3-point shooters in basketball. That allows the Lakers to post up their key people. Now, moving Michael Cooper into the starting lineup is fine, but when Cooper goes to the bench, will we see a guard rotation, or for the first time in the history of this league, they will move James Worthy to the backcourt, and we could see 5 guys over 6'9" on the floor.
I'm kind of hoping we see that. Well, we've talked about the defense and the adjustments for Byron Scott, and Hubie Brown has more on the opening night concerns for each team.
There are some problems each team faces in this final. First, Detroit must find an answer to the offense of James Worthy. If Rick Mahorn is unable to defend him, either Dennis Rodman or John Salley will take over the defensive duty. The Pistons must defend Magic Johnson. Defensive specialist Joe Dumars, who guarded Michael Jordan in the Eastern Finals, gets the assignment. LA is very concerned about the worm, Dennis Rodman, who has been a terror on the offensive glass thus far in the playoffs. The most precious commodity in the series may be easy baskets, because with the intense defense that we all see, any breakaway is significant. And the X factor is really the O factor. The Lakers' Orlando Woolridge, the newest addition to this playoff scenario.
So it appears that the bench is going to be a big factor in this series, Brent. And as far as the Lakers go, they feel that Orlando Woolridge is cut out of the mold of Rodman and Salley, but he's stronger. We'll see. Back to you.
Dick, and you and I were talking a little bit earlier about how emotional this is for the fans in both cities. Now, how about the players? Well, we asked Magic Johnson to try and put the finals into the proper context, and it's been a center stage almost the entire decade.
I love it to be so dramatic like it is. It's and then I feel that I'm rising with that. This is it. This is it. I mean, this is what you fight for 8 months to get to this point, because every human being should have a chance to come to this level and feel, be able to not sleep for 3 weeks or 2 weeks, however long it goes, and feel the crowd and the tension, and every possession, every shot is so big. They should want to trade places with me. This is, I can't even describe it. It's so unbelievable. And I love it. It's great.
So let the sleepless nights begin for the Los Angeles Lakers and the Detroit Pistons. This figures to be another great final. Game 1 is about to begin from Auburn Hills, Michigan. It'll be the Pistons and the Lakers for the NBA final coming up on CBS.
CBS Sports coverage of Game 1 of the 1989 NBA Finals is sponsored by Miller Lite, sole sponsor of the match of the century, Lightomania. Armor All Car Wax, because we're crazy about cars too. And by the heartbeat of America, today's Chevrolet.
Palace of Auburn Hills, Michigan, hosting an NBA Finals.